throw a couple of passes today to your new wide receiver, Ricky Pearsall. What are your impressions of him after a couple of practices?
Yeah, he's done a good job coming in, obviously learning the playbook, you know, coming to work every day. And so, as a quarterback and really the whole team, you know, we always like young guys that can come in and they're willing to do, the dirty work to learn and start from the ground up. And he's done that. He's done everything right. And so getting out in the field, being able to throw him the ball and obviously seeing his hands, the way he moves, all of it, it's been good. So really excited to have him.
Are you no longer one of the young guys?
Yeah, man, I'm a vet. Nah, I don't know, man. I'm still just trying to get better every day, and I still understand that there's such a long road ahead of me in terms of getting better and what I need to do to get better. So that's where I'm at. But it's crazy. You got guys that are younger than me now on the team, and it's just new. It's different.
I was just saying how cool it is this year that you guys can go through the cut-ups and then you can work through something and you can actually go out on the field and do it this year. Have there been moments this year where it just feels, I mean, obviously I'm sure it's different, but does it feel different in terms of how advanced you are or further along you are at this point in the offseason than you have been in the past?
Yeah, I just think with the playbook and, the play calls and all that kind of stuff, it feels a little bit more smoother. It registers in my mind a lot quicker. So when I go out there, like I know what we're doing, and then now it's where can I get the ball to the right guy faster, and so sort of just processing those kinds of things helps. At quarterback, you can obviously continue to work on your arm strength and all that kind of stuff, but I think just the way you process, the way you go through reads, you can't get enough reps, and so that's where I'm at. Obviously, watching the game tape, coming into practice, and now running those plays. Right now during OTAs for me is huge, so getting better with different concepts and getting more comfortable and familiar more and more with the verbiage. So it's been good.
Brock, is the offense constantly evolving, or is what you're doing now just basically refresher stuff from last year and from previous seasons?
I mean, honestly, I would say it's evolving a little bit. Just there's certain plays and concepts that, we'd sort of run throughout the year, and that we get to when we're scheming teams. And then, in the off season, it's like, all right, we have these base plays and stuff, and really we don't run these a whole lot. But the plays that we do run, we're starting to install those early on and run them. And so I think it's evolving a little bit. But at the same time, we're still running some really good plays that, Kyle's had in forever in this offense and that have continued to show success year after year. So we always have to hone into those kinds of concepts early on in the offseason. But I would say we've got guys that have played. We understand, how to run this system pretty well. And we're able to do things, I think, a little bit quicker than years past. So
in the walkthrough portion towards the end of practice, Nick Bosa came flying into the backfield. You were able to step up and flew by him. Just the prospect, or what's it like having him on the field this time of year and when he's usually not here during OTAs?
I mean, it's sweet, man. You could tell it means something to him, and to show up phase 3, practicing on the field, it's pretty special, So for all of us to see that, it's like, all right, if Bosa's taking it serious, then we all should. But regardless, being out in the field, giving our guys looks, the offensive line looks, for myself, pocket movement, all that kind of stuff, man. It's huge. And like I said, you can't get enough reps of it. But for him to be back in the building around the guys, man, it means a lot. And so it makes all of us excited to start rolling for the season.
Saw you throwing out the first pitch to the Giants game. Saw you on the stage with throwing beers at George Kittle. That whole celebrity part of it, I mean, you probably can't walk very many places now where people don't know who you are, and that's got to be something that's different for you in the last couple of years. How have you adjusted to that part?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different, obviously, but, at the end of the day, I've said this a million times, but I just try to keep it simple in terms of who I am as a person, as a human. There's people that come up and want pictures and stuff, and it's like, dude, I was that kid growing up, and I always wanted whoever I was looking up to or whatever to give time and just be a human and talk and take a picture or sign some stuff. So I always remember that, and, throughout all this, the off-season stuff and doing different things, try to give back to people as best as I can and not be on a pedestal or anything like that. So that's how I look at it. But, we've been able to enjoy some different events and stuff, having an off season, not just rehabbing 24/7. So it's been good to hang out with the guys outside of football and have a little off season. So it's been good.
How important is that for your mental state to have that time and get to just have some fun and not be all about rehab?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge, especially being out in this area, checking out, getting a better feel for the Bay Area, what it has to offer, the people, everything. It's been fun being able to sort of go out and explore and do different things. Last year, obviously, it's 24/7 rehab, go home, rest up, get ready for the next day of rehab. So now it's obviously get after it with my craft and the mental with the playbook and film and stuff. But then on the weekends and stuff, when guys are all able to get together and be able to have some fun together, it's been refreshing. So obviously we're all business on the field, but to get off the field and have those relationships, man, that's something that we'll always have, for the rest of our life. So.
Brock, what's the overall feeling like this time of year? Like, how much are you feeling the energy and excitement leading up to the season starting to build, or does that kind of happen more later when all the guys are here?
I mean, I feel it now for sure. Guys are coming in and competing. It's like, nothing's ever given to you. You gotta fight for your job. You gotta continue to have that little competitive nature in your mind every day when you walk in. Like, dude, I gotta find a way to get better, and you could feel that with everybody in the building. And so I'm excited. Obviously, there's some guys that aren't here, but once we all do get together again, come camp and everything, like it's gonna be sweet. Like it's gonna just take it to another level. But right now, we got guys that are learning everything. We're starting from the ground up. And for me, it's like, all right, we got the 2024 season right in front of us. So I'm excited for it.
How important is it that you guys, not you particularly, but it all gets worked out with Brandon Aiyuk and he's back in this building and on the field?
I mean, yeah, I think it's extremely important. He's a playmaker, love throwing to him, love BA as a person. So, yeah, it's definitely important. Like I've said this before, it's out of my control. But, for me, I'm showing up every day trying to get better with the new guys and the guys that are here. And that is what it is. But hopefully, get settled soon.
Check in with Halliburton in all last few days?
Nah, I've been letting it. Yeah, I'm leaving him alone, dude. He's balling, so letting him do his thing and definitely supporting him. And I got his back. So I'm really happy for him, man. Hope he goes all the way.
We've been a drumbeat for a while about potentially going to 18 games in the regular season schedule. What's your take on that?
I mean, if that is the case, I think 2 byes would be nice, that kind of thing. It's a long season, man. You go through so much physically and mentally, everything. But, if we're going to extend it another game, I think another bye would be pretty nice. But at the same time, it's longer. So I don't know how everyone around the league feels about it. But I know that, we're going through it every single week in and week out to get back for the next game. So I don't know. There's pros and cons to it. I don't really know how I feel 100% on it yet.
Brock, how do you feel about, have you had any chance to throw with Cowing, and what do you think he's going to add? I mean, the guy with that kind of speed, does he create space out there?
Yeah, he's quick, he's twitchy, and just I'm impressed with just the way he's acted and interacted with guys. Very smart, very respectful, and a guy that I could tell he's gonna get after it in terms of knowing what his job is. And as a quarterback, I feel like you're always looking for a guy that you can trust, and so yeah, I've seen that so far from him. I'm excited to see what he can do just in terms of taking off top and running downfield and everything once we get to it. So I'm really excited to have him.
The Mr. Irrelevant event is next month in Newport Beach. What is your memory of that? And do you follow who Mr. Irrelevant was this year? Are you kind of cognizant of all the irrelevance from your year forward?
Yeah, I mean, I've kept track and everything. It's been pretty cool just to see who's come after me and whatnot. But I know they do a great job down in Newport for a great cause more than anything. Yes, it's Mr. Relevant, but they're raising money and doing a great job of giving back to the community, which is pretty cool. So what they do is awesome. I'm all for it. Got their back, and they obviously celebrated me when I got drafted last, not knowing what the future was going to hold. So they've been great people, great organization, and yeah, I hope all the Mr. Relevance drafted moving forward have all the success in the world. So it's pretty cool.
Clear that you want Brandon signed and happy. Did you have to hold your breath at all through the draft, just with reports that they certainly, in the 49ers, certainly John didn't deny that it could happen, with both Brandon and Debo, did you kind of like have to watch and to make sure that they were still on the team?
Yeah, for sure. You know, the draft is going on and stuff, and obviously you're excited to get guys that you're drafting. But at the same time, it's like, dang, dude, you know, we could have some kind of trade stuff happen and whatever. But like I said, all that's out of my control. I was sort of just sitting there, you know, waiting to see what our team was going to do and everything. And, you know, my job is to show up and rip it to the open guy and try to win games. So that's my mindset with it. But I do love my boys, and I obviously hope that we can all continue to play together.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.